Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, the time of this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to you Akim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled Babylonianized Women, Adulterous, Mindless, Entitled, and Perverse. Okay, now we got quite a few clips. Gotta actually go ahead and grab this one. Let me go ahead and download that. I got quite a few videos and articles and files. I just gotta go ahead and add this one to it. That'll do it. Boom, bam. I knew it would take a while, so I figured I'd start up. So now that we got that one to go with it, we'll throw that into the second one. We got all these to go through, so a little bit of a longer lesson today. There was even more on my phone that I had saved, so it's kind of just a one-hit topic that I wanted to get, because I had so much of this saved up, and a video that I, not a video, well, it was a video, Slocky, it was a video that I saw recently that said, you know, basically inspired me to go ahead and just get it out of the way. Not get it out of the way, but, you know, get it out the, get it off the stovetop, right, and into the mouths, right? So, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and start up with playing the video, all right? Or actually, you know what? I'll start up with Ecclesiastes 25 and 19. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 25 and 19, and you women aren't gonna like this one too much, all right? And I'd say you women of the world, but a lot of you women that so-called call yourself sisters get offended over this type of stuff, even if it's not talking about you. So you know, if it's who it's for, who it's for is who it's for. All right, if you can't handle it, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, as they say, right? Ecclesiastes 25 and 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. We're gonna say this one more time, and we're not gonna say it anytime else throughout the lesson. Right? We are talking about the women, and when I say we, all right, we as brothers, all right, when we make these lessons, are talking about wicked women of the world, wicked women of the world, the wicked women of the world, the women in the world that are wicked, the wicked women that happen to dwell within the world, that are in the world because they're wicked, that are women. You got that? Not the Hebrew Israelite sisters, not the women in the truth, the wicked women of the world, the women that are in the world being wicked towards the men and acting wicked and doing wickedness and doing all these wicked things. Are you being adulterous? Are you being mindless? Are you being entitled? Are you perverse? Do you have sexual perversion? Are you laying around with a bunch of men? Are you a whore? Do you sleep around? No? Well, then this doesn't apply to you. Okay? So no need to get offended. Move on. All right? So Ecclesiastes 25 and 19, once again, and then when we say a rough, because it gets ridiculous, all right, and really it's a revealing matter, all right, because when these lessons get made out, these so-called women of the truth, all right, what happens? I'm saying so-called because there are women out there that are genuinely in this truth, right, for the right reason, but there's some that masquerade, and when these things come out, these topics come out, they flip out and bug out. I'm not talking about women, and it just shows you, they go back to that N-dub, black, so-called black woman mind state, and it shows you, instantly reveals, and basically just how, like, when certain topics are talked about, and then these King David bug out live. All right, what are you talking about, brother? We gotta love everyone, and it revealed them. It revealed them, revealed you women. That's just how it goes. All right, this truth, all right, the spirit, all right, and these scriptures are very, very revealing, and it will weed out anybody who's not supposed to be in this truth. All right, it'll cut you right where you need to be cut. All right, and you'll eventually get to the point where you say, I don't want to watch this. And it's not because, the brother, we did that lesson, if you don't like one of us, you don't like none of us. It's not because, you don't like what I had to say or what another brother or apostle, an elder had to say. It's because you don't like what's being said. It's not because it's us. It's because you don't like what's being said. You don't like Ecclesiastes 25 and 19. You don't like that it says that all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. You don't like hearing that. All right, you don't like that. It's not us saying it. All right. You don't like hearing that. It's not because it's us. You don't like what it has to say. If we would say, oh, all women are beautiful and they're great and they're big and they deserve to be put up on a pedestal and worship, you would have no problem with it. But because we said this, you have a problem with it. So it's not what we said. It's not. Oh, it's not. It's like it is what we said. It's not us. It's what we said, and what we said comes of the Lord. So you really don't like the Lord. Okay, but we're gonna jump right into it, and And that's Ecclesiastes 25:19. All right. Once again, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. All right, and that, women are involved in high levels of wickedness. All right, they're basically controlling the country. All right, the society is built in mind with women worship. All right, you do something, you get the kids taken away. You do something that they don't like, they can take your money, they can take your house, they can take your cars, they can take half of your income. All right, and then what else? They can do everything, man. If you said, hey, I'd like to get to know you and go out to coffee, and they're like, ew, you're ugly, they could just say that you assaulted them, all right, in a sexual manner, and then you go to prison for half your life, 14 years, all right? And then when they find out she was lying, guess what? You get out, oops, sorry, and then nothing happens to her. They don't imprison her. They don't, she doesn't get any bit of trouble. That's a society, all right? That's a society. And so all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And women are involved in all manners of wickedness, as are men. All right, but women are a special breed of wicked. They love it. All right, since the dawn, since Adam and Eve, man. All right, she was the first one that went off. All right, we got to grab we're gonna get the scriptures in a minute. I don't want to blow through all of them too quick, so we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and play this video. All right, show you about you know what, man, I don't even know where to start. There's so much. There's so much. You know where I'll start with? I'm gonna start with this. All right, I'm gonna start with a Reddit post. So here you go. This is from a while back ago. All right, it's from Petty Revenge. It says, boyfriend, a 22-year-old male, couldn't stop liking half-naked pictures of other women, so I, a 21-year-old female, posted one myself. Wicked. Okay, first of all, men are allowed to have multiple women, and there's nothing wrong with a man doing that. But what you did, all right, here you are, and you got to realize also a lot of these other women that are half naked don't have men, and if they do, they're hoes. All right, but there are just Instagram models. Okay, but now you that are tied down to someone are doing it. So, congratulations. So it says, all right, my 22-year-old boyfriend has started following a lot of Instagram women, not regular ones, but I don't mind those, but particular ones in lingerie with their ass out. Why are you jealous? It says, even was watching their OnlyFans. I, 21-year-old, told him that it made me uncomfortable and to stop, but his response was, it's just Instagram, you're doing too much. It's not that serious. And he kept doing it. Well, I posted some pictures of me in a G-string bikini, my ass out and all, and he saw it and started freaking out, slamming doors and yelling. He was like, ew, you don't respect yourself. Girls who do that are hoes. That's embarrassing. I don't want my girlfriend doing that, bro. That's weird. And he is mad, like really mad. He told me to take it down, and I said, no, isn't this what you want to see? And his response again was, you're in a relationship. Why would you do that? And this guy has valid points. These women are just Instagram hoes, man. That's it. They're essentially digital prostitutes. All right, and she did this, and he even tells you those women are hoes. He's not looking at those people, and you women don't realize that when you do that, you're not being looked at as a woman. You're being looked at as a piece of meat. That's it. And then what it says, you're in a relationship. Why would you do that? And I said, I'm only posting what you like. After I said that, he started ignoring me. Let me continue on to the next one. He started ignoring me, and it has been hours, and honestly, I don't feel bad at all. For months, I was uncomfortable and asked him to stop, and he couldn't. So yeah, now he's a victim of a crime he participates in. All right, and then this person continues on to perpetuate this person's wickedness. Princess Pancake, and who knows, it's probably, that sounds like a user-generated, an auto-generated name, but I wouldn't be surprised. Women give the worst advice to other women. It says, for your next advice of petty revenge, dump him. So here's the overall idea of this one, right? A man was looking at Instagram hoes that most likely didn't have a relationship, and you can't really even be in a relationship when you're sleeping around and with multiple men. You can't really even be a wife. So he's looking at these women, all right, and OnlyFans, pornography, which I don't condone, all right, that has demons all over that shit, so you shouldn't do it. But then, as petty revenge, what she did is that she posted a picture of her in a G-string with her ass out, and she thinks she won, like she's good, like she did something right. And then on top of that, everyone said, now you should dump him. So here a guy was doing nothing that was wrong, all right? You're allowed to, you can have multiple wives, all right? It wouldn't be expedient in this society, but there's a difference between having multiple wives and then just, looking at an Instagram hoe, all right? So she decided to do the same thing and basically got mad when he treated her a different type. Well, congratulations. He had you as a relationship. Those were just random hoes. Okay, now you put yourself in a position of hoe, and he doesn't want anything to do with hoes. That's why he's with you and not a hoe. All right. Well, I guess he ended up getting with a hoe after all. It says, yeah, they don't fit together. He acts like a child and can't accept her issue and thinking it's nothing. Also wants an open relationship and threesomes. Where was this said? Where was this said? Where was it said that he wants an open relationship and threesomes? Where was this? They're just pulling shit out their ass, man. It says, if he asks for a threesome, she should be like, okay, but I get to pick a guy, and you're gonna have to learn how to suck and to be a bottom. Look, this is the wickedness of the world, man. This is the wickedness of the world. All right, threesomes are wicked. You can't do it even if it was two women. All right, you're not supposed to be doing that. But this person is putting it in a homosexual manner. If he asks for a threesome, she should be like, okay, but I get to pick the guy, and you're gonna have to learn to suck and to bottom. And you know what bottom is getting rammed up the ass. Okay. So it says, for real though, if she's down bringing into a girl to have some fun together, then I'm down for fun. Yeah, look. This is the state of the world. This is the state of the world, man. These are the people who rule the mindset of the women and the men. Okay? This is why you men are in the state that you are in, and this is why you women are in the state that you're in. You men have become effeminatized, and you women have become masculinized. And it's fucked up everything. This is Ecclesiastes 7:26. It says, and I find more bitter than death a woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Who pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. All right, so you wicked men, you're not going to be able to get a good woman either. You're going to be falling. This is who you're going to be getting with. All right, this is who you're going to be getting with. All right, is these hoes, these useless fucking garbage trash bins, all right, that belong in the landfill. That's who you're going to be getting with. All right, as it says, whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her. So those that are pleasing the Most High, that do what the Most High wants, they're not going to have to deal with that on a grand scale. All right, women are still innately rebellious. All right, to a T. They're not going to be perfect here in Babylon. All right, but it says, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So those and that's these women get the women and the men, they're damn near the same. All right, you get these men that are gun-toting criminals and these women that are hoes. All right, and they just think they're entitled to something great when they're both just garbage, man. They're trash. All right, and that's why these men get these women as well. All right. Now it's also a curse put upon Israel. So sometimes even the brothers in the truth might have a rebellious woman. All right, a rebellious woman. Okay. So it's just a curse that's placed on us. But these crazy ones. Hey, who do you sing him with? 2/3 ass Jake. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 26 and 23 to continue on in that same matter. It says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. And that's true. You might have for the vast majority, the men in this truth, while some of them might have an unruly woman, a lot of the men within this truth, they have women that, even if they might not even necessarily be in the truth, all right, because most brothers, women are not, all right. I would say, all right, if you have a woman in the truth, you could be considered yourself fortunate. So if she's truly in this truth and not just going along with it, right? And so if you got with a woman, that was, just waking up when you got with her, or however it goes, consider yourself very, very, very fortunate. All right, or woke up before you, consider yourself very fortunate, because that's generally not the case. But the Lord, can make it to where even though a woman, not necessarily might not even be in the truth, she can be, at peace with you and not, go too crazy, or, she'll be, submissive to an extent. Okay, of course, when the women aren't going to be perfect because their mind's all messed up by this Babylonian society, and they've been, basically trained a different way. So they're basically going through, a re-education, all right, when they come into this truth. So as are the men, all right, as are the men. But the rebellion runs deep with women. It's a special breed. Okay, so let's go on with the next one. And we'll grab this one too, because this is the state. This is 1st Adulterous, all right, 4 and 26. It says, yea, many there be that have ran out their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. And it's also a problem with you men too, because you men have done nothing to counteract this rebellion. okay? Now, like I said, it is a curse. The women are naturally rebellious like this. Well, not naturally, but they've been like that since, you know, Eve, right? That's just Eve's natural state, the so-called black woman, right? Aggressive and barbaric and, you know, disobedient, right? But you men have perpetuated this. Let's look up that. Perpetuate. All right.
Perpetuate.
Make something, typically an undesirable situation or an unfounded belief, continue indefinitely. Keep going. Keep it alive, right? To sustain. You men have perpetuated this, all right? Because you basically let the women get, too high up in their head. And now, you got songs like, I put the pussy on a pedestal, and all these fucking dumb songs. And I don't want to name too many lyrics because we're in the Sabbath, right? But, at the same time, you have all these fucking simp-ass lyrics, these simp-ass men, people like Drake, and Drake makes decent music, but he's a simp, man. He's a simp. You got people like R. Kelly and all these R&B people making simp-ass lyrics, and basically, adding to that mindset of the women that there's something to be had. All right, and that's a title lesson, Babylonian Women, Adulterous, Mindless, Entitled, and Perverse. That goes back to entitlement. All right, you've made these women, you've inflated their ego, you've inflated their mindset to the point where they think now that they are the reward. Biblically, the man was always the reward. All right, the man was always the reward, but everything is switched. Babylon, everything's confused. It's upside down, right? So you've put it into a perspective where everything's been, switched upside down, and now they think that they're the reward. All right, you got women that make little to no income. All right. Like, zero to not even hardly anything a year, and they can't cook, they can't clean, all right, they're not feminine, all right, they're not submissive, and they want a man who's under the age of 30, all right, above the height of 6 foot, all right, and they want a man that's making $500,000 a year, which just does not fucking exist, all right, and that's that sense of entitlement. They think they're entitled to have that when yet they don't cook. They don't clean. I forgot the big one. None of them want kids. And if you do end up getting them pregnant, they will kill the child. They will abort it. All right. They will murder the child. Okay. And these are the type of people that are being celebrated and uplifted. And you men have perpetuated it by, I'll pay for the abortion, baby. I'll pay for the abortion. All right. Or yeah, she's bad. Yeah, she is bad. She's bad. Stone her. Put her in a pit and stone her. She's bad. All right. But now these bad women have been, glorified. All right, there's this guy at my work that was talking, saying, oh yeah, my wife, I didn't want a submissive girl. I wanted a girl that could take care of herself and could be independent and could be a little bit of a rebel. All right, and now his wife doesn't even love him and sleeps in a completely different side of the house, goes off to different countries for 3 months, comes back, quits her job, makes it so and she's definitely cheating. She is. Okay, and this is what he asked for. He wanted it. So he's part of the problem. He's part of the fucking problem, man. You men are also a part of the problem by perpetuating this shit. Okay, allowing this shit. Okay, as soon as a woman says feminism, boom, that's it, done, leave. Right? That's how it should have been. First thing. I'm independent. I'm leaving you. All right, cool, go and do it. And then that. But now, you have male feminists, man. Male feminists. Can you believe that? And it's, and these men will try to say, oh, it's not about the woman being better than the man. It's about them being equal. Well, the woman can't be equal to the man either. Okay? That's not how it works biblically. All right? The man is the head. All right? The man is over the woman. All right? And then Yahushua is over the man, and Yahweh is over Yahushua. That's the order of things. You don't like it? Well, too bad. So sad. All right? So let's go ahead and get some more. Let's go ahead and show some more entitlement. Let's go ahead and play this video.
This is the worst person ever. This video really bothers me. Pay attention to her. So she just walks up. This guy's trying to play, and she just walks up and just, for no reason at all. This guy can sing. He's living his life, having a good time, Hey, she's back. She's returned. Watch what
Look, black woman.
She does. She says sorry. Friend's laughing. And then look what she does. She steals his money on top of everything. Like, what a scumbag. Hey, there's more to this story. If you want to know what happens, click the pinned video down below. This is the worst person ever. This video really bothers me.
So let's look at the comments. So we
Pay
got
attention to her. So she just walks up. This guy's trying to.
the absolute audacity to say I'm sorry. Let's see. This is why pattern recognition is not racism, and a lot of these people are Edomites that just, you know, hate Jake. But I mean, you can't even say they're wrong. All right, this is a black woman thing. All right. What else we got? 100% agree. It says, why does this have to do with race when everyone else either vibes with him or just minds their business? This person says, mate, when was this ever about race? All right. It says, since when did this become about race? And this person says the black chick broke his organ and stole his money. All right, and you know, these are Edomites, but you know, it is true, you know, that they're the black woman, man. Ooh, black means void of light. All right, and this person says, and this is a black woman herself. It says she's got hers coming, and he's got blessings coming his way. He didn't look like a Jake, so he does not have blessings coming his way. This person said, no, she wasn't sorry. She knew what she was doing. And this is that entitlement, man. All right. And this person said she's going to try BLM if she gets called out. And that's true, man. And BLM is just, look, man. This is the state of society. This is the state of the Babylonianized woman. And I say Babylonianized and not Babylonian because Babylonianized reaches further than just Babylon. Babylonian is a woman who's a Babylonian woman would be a woman who's dwelling within Babylon. A Babylonianized, all right, a Babylonianized, or however you want to say it, all right, person, woman, man, whatever, would be a person who's acting like that of a Babylonian, all right. So Babylonianized, all right, could be anybody. It could be people that are in Asia. It could be people that are in Russia, all right? Are they Babylonianized? Have they drank that wine? All right, that Babylon wine, that Babylonian wine, have they drinking that wine? Well, they've become Babylonianized, all right? Which in the wine is these ideologies and these mindsets and these, just these ideologies, the LMNOP, ABC, LGB, AFID, right? All that stuff. You gotta, space it out a little bit and mix and muddle it up a little bit. All that stuff. That's Babylonianization, right? It's same with feminism that came out of Babylon. Same with all this weirdo, these simp men. That's some Babylon shit. All right, it all stands once. There at one point, and it's all everything's changed. Men were once men. Men used to be strong and masculine, and used to. And these men now they're feminine. They're because they, and especially the so-called black man, because he's been raised by his mother. All right, our nation has been destroyed. All right, by the lack of a father in the house. All right, which Esau's planned, because now you have the so-called black women raising the households, which. Yeah, that's how you end up with people like, all these rappers ever, all right? Because they become feminine. I'm gonna shoot you, man. You hurt my feelings. I'm gonna shoot you. That's feminine. Why are you in your feelings? That's feminine, man. All right? If anything, just brawl it out, all right? Just brawl it out one-on-one, all right? Put down the guns and fight it out. But no, that doesn't happen anymore, man. It's effeminate. Overreactions, all right? Over-emotional, dressing female with these skinny jeans. All right, just looking like a goddamn, being careful with the words here, but that's the state as it's been. And the men, when you tell them this, they don't want to come out of that. Look at the men in this truth, man. Beards, muscles, all right, a masculine presence. Look at the men in the world, all right. Look at the men in the world. Skinny jeans. Skinny, and there's nothing wrong with being skinny. Some of the brothers in this truth, I'm particularly skinny. I don't have big muscles, but on the whole, man, all right, the men in this truth look like men. The men in the world do not look like men. They've been effeminatized, all right? They've been essentially butt broke by the fucking system, man. Okay? Almost like a digital version of buck breaking, right? Through the music and the things that they've heard and the things that they've been told, and them being told, women are better, and you gotta earn a woman, and happy wife, happy life, all these different things they've been digitally and from mouth to mouth butt broken, all right, and put into a place of being on low, man, on the bottom. I just skip. I don't like the ones with. They're supposed to be instrumental, and instrumental does not contain lyrics. That's the whole point. Instrumental. All right, well, it's a hook. I didn't say I wanted a fucking instrumental with hook, did I? Anyway, so that's a state, you know. 1 Esdras 4:26. Yea, many there have been that run out their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. And these men, you have done nothing to help it. All right, you have done nothing to help it. All right, because you're afraid now. You're afraid that you might be labeled as what's the word? What do they call? Chauvinistic, all right, or sexist, or, you know, anti-female, or whatever. You can't even use the word female anymore because female has a negative connotation. Can't call them females anymore. Women? No. Maybe we should call them your lady highnesses, all right? Maybe they'd prefer that. Fucking ridiculous, man, and we ain't doing that shit. It's fucking dumb. And this guy has, you know, it sounds like he beat his wife. You're not supposed to be beating your wife, but you can put him in check. But the first part is pretty accurate, right? This is the state of women, right? Tim R. Bradley, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but it says, sounds like your ex-wife made the right decision. My wife left me because she was programmed by radical feminism to believe that she could just break her marriage vows and file for divorce under the concept of unreconcilable differences. Our differences were irreconcilable because she was unsubmissive, physically and verbally abusive, and when I finally physically handled her, and I don't know if he said, you know, if he slapped her, beat the shit out of her, there's a difference between those two. There's a difference between slapping and beating. And really, you know, if you want to get, oh, you can't be beaten. Well, you shouldn't be beaten on your woman, no. But at the end of the day, this wouldn't have even, back in the day, this wouldn't have even happened. That woman would have been dragged out to the middle of the city and just stoned. That would have been it. All right. She tried to break her vows and divorce, which would be committing adultery. She'd be stoned. All right. She was being unsubmissive. She was being, oh, fuck you. She was being physically and verbally, fuck you, you piece of shit. You know, probably hitting him. And that's, you know, and abusive. And when he finally handled her, who knows if he slapped her hip. That's besides the point. All right. And then she turned on me and used her parents and the justice system to prevent my rights as a man. Blah, 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 blah. Right? This woman would have, a woman like this would not have been able to exist. She would have been dragged out and stoned, all right? Because as soon as you try to do a divorce or anything like that, you want a divorce because you don't want to be with that man, and that means you eventually want to go and get with another man. That's adultery, all right? When you lay with a man, you are bound to him for life, all right? That is it, all right? You cannot, until that man dies, you cannot get with another man. Now, if that man dies, you can remarry, but that man has to die, and you can't kill him either because that's murder. Then you're gonna be put to death for that. Okay, trying to get out one way or another. Okay, so but in Babylon, it doesn't happen. They can take your money, they can take the car, they can take the kids. All right, when the man biblically would have gotten the kids and the woman would have been put to death. All right, and you know, they can get everything. They can get your phone, they can get your clothes, they can get your whole house. You'll be on the street, and they get your car, and they can even take your fucking dog, man. They can take your dog. Your dog that was with you before you even got with her, they can take your dog. What type of shit is that? Babylonianized system, man. And these Babylonianized women, all right? They're adulterous, mindless, entitled, and perverse. What does adulterous mean? Wanting to commit adultery. What is mindless? What does mindless mean? Let's look up that word. Let's look up some of these things that I put in the title, because it perfectly describes them. What is mindless? Okay?
Mindless.
Mindless. Acting or done without justification or concern for consequences. Stupid, idiotic, brainless. All right? Imbecilic, imbecile, asinine, witless, foolish, empty-headed. All right? What else do we got? Entitled. What is entitled?
Entitled.
Entitled. Believing oneself to be inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. All right? What else do we got? Perverse. What does it mean to be perverse? Alright.
Perverse.
Of a person or their action showing a deliberate or obstinate desire to behave in a way that is unreasonable or unacceptable, often in spite of consequences. Okay? There you go. Look, rebellious, stubborn. Alright. Molish. Alright, there you go. That's just the state. Morally bad, corrupt. Okay? Corrupt. Alright, thinking that they deserve everything. Dumb and adulterous. That's the state. And these women are idolized in the state that, you know, who are the leaders of the Babylonian women, you know? Well, it really goes back to Esau, but who are the poster children? Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, right? Jax, all right, that's the new one, you know, making feminist songs, okay? So there you go. So this is Ecclesiastes 25 and 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Ever since she ate up of the ideologies that she was not supposed to by the serpent. All right, it wasn't an apple. All right, it was not an apple. It doesn't say it was an apple. Never did. Okay, so nice try, Christians, but no, she basically, got ideologies in her mind that she was never supposed to. All right, and well, that's how it all happened. That's how it all started, all through Eve, right? So here's Ecclesiasticus 26:6 through 12. All right, and now we're getting, there's another one I could have added to the title, which is, lasciviousness. All right, lasciviousness. All right, I looked it up earlier to make sure if I could spell. I was gonna add it, but I didn't because it had just been too long of a title.
Lascivious.
All right, lasciviousness. All right, I said it wrong. Lasciviousness of a person, manner, or gesture, feeling or revealing an over or an often offensive sexual desire. All right, lewd. We're gonna get that word. All right, lewd. All right, where is it? It's over here somewhere. There we go. Boom, lewd. We'll get lewd in a minute. We'll put that up over there. Lewd. Okay, so Ecclesiasticus 26:6 through 12 says, and this is showing you about those women, the whorish women. All right. It says in verse 6, but a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. So that's another thing. You're going to have to grief of heart and sorrow for, you women that are jealous of other women, and a lot of you are. In verse 7, it says, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. I wouldn't want to hold a scorpion. You might get stung, man. It says, a drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. And then verse 9, it says, the whoredom of a woman may be known by her haughty looks and her eyelids. And I've shown this before. If you look at Megan, the stallion, and you can just see, let's get her face. You can see, okay, there's a good example. Let's get another one. Cardi B. See the eyes? Let's get another one. You can just see it. You can just see it. Okay? It says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. All right, and there's another scripture that talks about, the women of Israel, stretch out for haughtiness and wanton eyes. If you look up the word wanton, all right, or wanton, all right, down here, a sexually unrestrained woman, all right, or, immoral, indecent, shameless, sexually unrestrained, having many sexual casual relationships, typically used of a woman. There you go. Wanton. There's only three that use it. So here it is. Look. Isaiah 3:16. You can read down, and it'll tell you all about what's happened to the Jake woman. It says, Isaiah 3:16, moreover the Lord say, because the daughters of Zion, Israelite women, are haughty, means proud, right, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, making a tinkling with their feet. And that's exactly how, like this. All right. So, just how it is. So let's go back. It says, the whoredom of a woman may be known by her haughty looks and eyelids. All right, and you got to realize this is way back then, right? It says, if thy daughter be shameless. So if you have a woman that's, being whorish, what happens? If thy daughter be shameless, she doesn't have any shame. What do? Keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. You gave her too much freedom, and she went around and banged everybody in the whole town, right? Verse 11, watch over an imprudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water, a little bit of every one, right? Just get a little bit over here, a little bit over here, a little bit over here, right? It says, by every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow. She'll just get with everybody. So you gotta watch her. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. All right, watch her, watch out. I'm curious what the Good News Translation has to say about this. Let's see, Good News Translation with Apocrypha. Let's see. Good News Translation. Apocrypha. There we go. Boom. Let's see. Let's go and get it. So we're going to get, we'll type in Sirach 26. And see if it gives it to us. Sirach. Well, it give us Ecclesiasticus then? Is that how it's named? Huh. Very interesting. Oh, okay. Let's get, let's see. Sirach 26. Yeah, check it out. Here you go. So, starting with verse 6, right? So this is in the Good News translation, right? It says, "But a woman jealous of another woman causeth heartache and grief. Her tongue lashes out at everyone. A bad wife is like a yoke that doesn't fit." And a yoke is something that goes around your neck. It says, "Trying to control her is like holding a scorpion." It says, "A drunken woman is an infuriating sight. She can't conceal her shameless behavior." And if you ever see a drunk woman, "Oh my God, I'm so fucked up. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fuck Brad." You know, that's literally. I'm not making that up. I was outside one time at my old house, and I heard a drunk woman, "I'm gonna fuck Brad." All right, and she was in a pool. They're in a pool, so yeah, she won't be able to conceal her shameless behavior. It just spills out. All right, can't contain it. The drunkenness literally just pushed it one over, and now it's all. So you can be like, "God damn, she's a whore. I never knew." Until you got a little bit of alcohol, and you're like, "Ugh, God damn, gross. Get away from me." All right. In verse 9, it says, "You can tell an unfaithful wife by the bold and flirting look in her eyes." And it's true, man. You can see these women, and they have that that look. They just have a look. All right. And back in the day, I'm not gonna say it because it's Sabbath. I'm trying to keep it as appropriate as possible. But we'll just call them hoe eyes. All right. Every guy knows what hoe eye is. It's just a look. It's just a look that guys can just tell. You can just look at them and be like, "God damn, yeah, she's a hoe." It's just this. They have a look, and it's crazy. Because when you get to the Bible, it actually describes that. When I found out that it was in the Bible for the first time, I was like, "Wow, I can't." I almost couldn't believe that that's been known. You know, I was like, "Wow," you know, and just to see it, I was astonished. I was like, "Wow," you know, and it shows you, man, that there's truth in it. There's truth in that because the Bible says so. So it says, "You can tell an unfaithful wife by the bold and flirting look in her eyes." You see these women, they just stare at you. At my job the other day, this woman was walking up and she looked at me and she winked at me. She like gave me a wink, like this very flirtatious wink. And then right behind her, like 10 steps, I can see him because he's behind the wall. Comes up her husband. I'm like, "What the fuck you doing winking at me, you goddamn hoe?" You know, I didn't say that, but I'm thinking that in my head. I'm like, how are you gonna wink at me when you have a man? What kind of a shit is that? Okay, it doesn't make any sense. All right, just wicked. All right, verse 10, it says, "If your daughter is determined to have her own way, keep a close watch on her. If you don't, she'll take advantage of any chance she gets. If she's too self-willed, be on guard, and don't be surprised if she disappoints you. She'll spread her legs anywhere for any man who wants her, just as a thirsty traveler will drink whatever water is available." Damn. Check that. We'll continue. Look at 13. "A gracious wife is her husband's delight. Her abilities make him a stronger man. A woman who doesn't talk too much is a gift from the Lord. Such restraint is admirable beyond words." Or we can read 13 through 14 in the King James version as well. 13 and 14. Here's 13 in the King James version. The grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. I tell you what, Sirach 26 hits heavy, all right, and in both the King James version and in the Good News translation, because you get to verse 10, you can't even, because no, that's not what the King James is saying. What it's mean? Okay, well, let's go to the Good News translation. What's it saying then? What's it saying then? Huh? Looks like they got it right. So nice try though. Nice try. That's what it means. Oh, the Bible's anti-woman. And I wouldn't say it's anti-woman, but it's definitely anti, bigging a woman up and making her seem on top. It's not anti-woman. This truth isn't anti-women. It's just there's a specific place. All right? There's a specific place. You don't say it's anti-men, but it's against men that are wicked as hell too. But you don't say it's anti-men. So you women just want to be able to do whatever you want, and that's just not how it goes. It's just not how it goes. All right? And it's just the same thing with these homosexual men that want to be able to do that thing. And the Bible says you cannot do that thing. And if you do it, you will be put to death. Okay? And I'm allowed to say that. Okay? Taking a video down for saying that would be basically silencing religion, because that's what the Bible says. Are we not allowed to say what the Bible says? What are you going to do? Is YouTube going to hold a Bible burning next? Because apparently they don't want what the Bible has to say being said. That's why they always take our videos down, because they don't want it being said. They don't want it being spoken. Okay? Because they hate the Bible. Okay? And they fringe upon our religious freedom, and they fringe upon our religious rights and the religious scriptures and the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So they take these videos down because they don't like our religion. They don't want to have nothing to do with the Bible, and they hate it. Meanwhile, the Constitution says you can't infringe upon the religion. Supposedly, that's a bunch of bullshit too, right? But YouTube does it anyway. They don't care. So here's Ezekiel 23:48. It says, "Thus will I cause lewdness to cease out of the land, that all women may be taught not to do after your lewdness." What is lewdness? Good thing we got it up. Lewdness, lewd. Crude and offensive in a sexual way. Vulgar, crude, smutty, dirty, filthy, obscene, pornographic, coarse. Right? Risque, naughty, wicked, erotic. Right? There you go. X-rated. Okay? Rude, racy, vile, and seemly. There you go. So what does it say? "Thus will I cause lewdness to cease out of the land, that all women may be taught not to do after your lewdness." But right now the women are just, running rampant, doing whatever they want, because it's Babylonianized society. All right? And that's just, they allow it. It's not just here in Babylon. It's England. It's in Germany. And the places that don't allow that behavior, Iran, Afghanistan, and all these different places, they're demonized because of it. They're so rude to the women there. And some of them are a little crazy. They get a little too far with it. I'll say that. Some of them do go a little too far with it. But as far as having a woman, they're making them cover their hair. Well, a woman's supposed to have her head covered. Okay? Well, they make them cook and clean. A woman's supposed to cook and clean. All right, that's like saying, they're making the man get a job and take care of his family. The man's supposed to get a job and take care of his family. All right? And no one says if you say a man's got to get a job and take care of his family, no one freaks out. If you say a woman has to cook and clean and take care of the kids, ooh, boy, you're a fucking chauvinist. But the man still has to go to his job and do everything. All right? He has to do everything. Really, the man has to do everything. The man has to go to the job. He has to come home, take care of the kids, cook and clean, provide for his woman, and the woman gets to do nothing. And that's the state that they want in society. That's not how it works. A household is a household, and it needs to be held by both. All right? It needs to be held by both. A man has a task and a job he needs to provide, and a woman has a task and job she needs to provide. A woman needs to do the cooking, the cleaning, taking care of the kids in the house. The man needs to be bringing in the bread, right? And doing any hard labor, right? If he, add-ons or stuff to the house. If you're not, of course, now you just hire a laborer. But back a while ago, if plumbing, a man would fix it. There's something wrong in the house, a problem with the cupboard or something, piping or anything, a man would fix it. But the men are kind of fucked up because they don't do that shit anyway. They don't do that anymore either. All right, so everyone's lost their task. All right, but a 99%, 9 times out of 10 in Babylon, a lot of the time the man is expected to still hold his, past tasks of, doing all those, but the woman isn't required to do her tasks anymore. And a man can't do his tasks if the woman is not doing her tasks. All right, and a woman can't really do her tasks if the man's not doing his tasks. Okay, for example, a man cannot take care of the house, or a man cannot go off to work if the woman's not taking care of the children. Who's going to take care of the child? Someone's got to take care of it. Someone has to stay home and take care of the child. That's the woman. All right, just like the woman cannot take care of that child if the man's not out working. How is she gonna get the How is she gonna get the food to feed the child? How is she gonna get the clothes and the diapers for the child? All right, or even if you're going old school and they use the rag with the clothespins, how is she gonna buy the rag? How is she gonna get the clothespins? All right, or if she, back in the day with the quilt and the fabrics and on all these different things, all right, and the housewares, how are you gonna get the doilies? How are you gonna get the blankets? How are you gonna get the towels? How are you gonna get the shirts and the pants? All right, because back then women would make make clothing as well. All right, they'd make their dress. Even not so long ago, in 1940s and 50s, women used to love doing that. Used to love making clothes. If you go and look through if you ever been through old garages, all right, for your grandparents or any of those people, all right, and or anywhere, looking at the 50s and 50s memorabilia. All right, they had stuff like that. They had what do they call them? And I don't sew. I don't do none of that stuff. But what do they call it? They're like patterns. A pattern for a shirt. All right, it would show you how to do that, and you'd lay the fabric on it, and then you'd be able to do it, and you'd use a sewing machine, or you'd do it by hand. All right, by the 50s, sewing machines were already popular. They had those things, but now everything's mass marketed, mass produced. But back in the day, the women would do it, and they loved it. All right, all those old shows you watch about the 50s and the 40s. The women would love, making their dresses. They'd hand make their dresses, and they put in a lot of, love in, it was fun for them. But now, anything like that it's disgusting, and you're not liberated enough. All right, which I don't, and the thing is that, all the good traits of women in society have been expunged, and you women have been brainwashed into, by these rappers to teach you all bad things. They don't tell you, how to cook or how to clean or how to make, clothing. Or those are cool tasks, man. Those are cool tasks. Just like they don't teach men how to build houses or, to plant or become a farmer. They don't do that. They just teach you to fucking tote guns and sell drugs, and they tell the women to be whores. And so men and women in the society are both messed up, all right, and you got messed up men with messed up women that don't understand what the hell's going on, all right, and they can't figure out who they are because they don't know who they are, because all they know is drugs, guns, and whoredom, okay? Meanwhile, back then, a man would learn how to, fix a car, or to fix, to tile a floor, or to do carpentry, or to anything, just anything, man, anything, to be a lumberjack, all right, to be, anything, man, whittling, even the simplest tasks, men don't have anymore, man, and they don't want to learn them, okay, so everyone's lost their role, and that's why there are no relationships anymore. There's casual sex, and that's all. That's why these things like Tinder, that's why you don't hear about Plenty of Fish anymore. That's why you don't hear about Match.com anymore, because no one's worried about a relationship. No one's worried about getting married. No one's worrying about having children together. That's why they have these apps like this there. That's why they have apps like Tinder, or god damn it. Why are all these ones having fucking here? Good? Okay, cool. Jeez. But that's why you hear these apps like Tinder, and I don't even know the other ones. I'm sure there's, casual dating app. Let's see, list of dating apps. Hinge, I guess. Tinder, Bumble. You don't really hear about they have eHarmony, OkCupid, and all these elite single. You don't really Christian Mingle. You don't really hear about those anymore. You hear about Tinder. And let's see, apps like Tinder, Zeus, Match, Elite Single, Adult Friend Finder, Bumble, Coffee Meets, okay, and then Grinder for the mo's. All right, so that's what's being pushed. It's because they don't care about long-term goals. They're just hit it and quit it. So that's done. That's it. Society. A lot of the children's now that are being had are just oops. Oops, that was an accident. Oops, you weren't supposed to be made. All right, I met your mom on Tinder, and oops, it wasn't supposed to happen. All right, and they're mean to their children. The men are mean to their children. The women, even more so, are mean to their children. And that's the state. Society cannot continue on like that. All right, society cannot continue on. Back day, everything was lined up. Everything was lined up. A man would go, put on his coat, wake up, grab his cup of coffee, go outside the house. I love you, love you, love you, honey. Go out there, work his job, drive his car, go and work his job. All right. And meanwhile, while he was at the job, the woman would be taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, doing the clothes, the laundry. Right. The man would come home, get his food. And that's it. On the days off, they'd go out, drive-in movie, or they'd go and do something fun together, and that was it. But now it's nowhere like that. No children want to be had. The men do not want to have children. The women do not want to have children at all. All right, because children have been portrayed as bad in the society, and on top of being portrayed as bad in the society, they also really helped it with not being able to even afford a cost of living anymore. So you almost can't even afford to have children anymore. All right. And so now children are seen as something bad. It's like a curse if you have a child. Oh no, you're pregnant. Oh no, And men in the society, and you can't even enjoy your children because of the cost and everything. So it's just that's the state of how things have become. All right, this society cannot continue. It cannot continue. It just can't. All right, men are not getting along with women. They both hate children. All right, they're both too busy in the party atmosphere, and that's just not. You can't have a house like that. You cannot have a house like that. This is Proverbs 14:1. It says, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands." And I have so many different things that I could touch on, with just these. But I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna even get to it. Because there's just this. It was just Here, I'll just play this one clip, and then I'll read a couple of scriptures, and we'll close out. You just go ahead and watch it. It's infuriating. Let's see. Well, it won't play anyway. So, So I guess that's a sign. It won't play anyway. So we'll get rid of that. But. That's the state, but hey, again, women have been taught to dismantle their house, all right, to pluck it down, all right, by Megan Thee Stallion, bad bitch, you don't need a man, you a bet, So you can't have a society form like that, and these men have been taught to be gangbangers and thugs and fucking warlocks by dealing drugs, and you can't. No decent man is a drug dealer, and no decent woman is a whore. That's just not how it works, all right? But yet, this is 99% of relationships are drug dealing ass, and if they're not dealing drugs, they're using drugs, all right? And if they're not doing drugs, they're scamming, and if they're not scamming, they're lying, and they're getting with women that if they aren't being whores, they're being feminists and agree that you could be a whore. So you can't have society. It's just everything's upside down. It's fucked, and it cannot continue. It cannot. It can't. This is 1 Timothy 5:14 through 15. It says, "I will therefore that the younger women, marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully, for some are already turned aside after Satan." And that's the case for a lot of the women. But that's the goal of woman. All right, to marry, bear children, and to guide the house. To guide the house. What does it mean if you guide something? Because women always ask, "Oh, our task is so bad." You guide the house. What is guiding?
Guide.
All right, a person who advises or shows the way to other. All right, guide. Let's see. Let's look up the biblical definition of guide. Okay. Guide. Let's see. Guide the house.
Strong's G 3616. Oikedos pateo.
And this is a mistranslation. It
Oikedos
says,
pateo.
this is a mistranslation. All right, because if you go and look up, there you go, Ephesians 5:23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church. There you go. We can get right here. We can just go and get Ephesians 5:23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. So this is a mistranslation right here, to be a head of the house. No, the man is the head of the house, right? The man manage family affairs, right? To guide the house, all right? To basically, help keep everything in order, okay? To help keep everything in order. But, men do that as well. But, women have a very, they guide the house. They guide. All right, if you guide something, you're not necessarily doing it, but you're guiding it. show or indicate a way to someone, all right, to direct, to influence, all right, and it doesn't mean that they're over the man. They're just guiding, they're taking care of the house, how the children are, right, and making sure everything's in order. They're taking care of the house, right. That's how it goes. Okay. So this is Ecclesiastes 26 and 25. It says, "A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord." There are many women in this truth, all right, that are shamefaced, all right. They're not shameless. They're shamefaced. They're lowly, right, and they don't frickin' do all this host stuff. So you act like it's impossible. No, you can't. It's impossible. No, it's not impossible. There's many women, all right. There's a lot of decent women in this truth, all right. You women have been taught that it's impossible. All right, once you get out of that brain dirtying, all right, and you get away from those worldly concepts, all right, and that Babylonianization, you'll realize that it is still very much possible to this day. And these are the women that as they're getting older, there's videos now of 30, 40-year-old women saying, I was scammed. We were lied to. Women, get out of it while you still can. You spend all your early years, partying away, and now you can't find a man, and now you're lonely and you just want a man. All right, and they say they regret their decisions, and there's plenty of, that's just how it goes. So they're starting to realize, but you've been put under a spell. A lot of you women, man, a lot of you women, a lot of you men. All right, you're under Babylonianized spell witchcraft by Esau, man, to have you behaving the way you're behaving. Women being hoes, men being drug dealers, and that's glorified in the society, and it's just. That's Babylonianization, both ways, man. Both ways. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. That's, all we really had. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, that time of this truth rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing. Shalom.